Alright, what is up guys, I'm Kalmar. In today's video I'm going to be doing another Blender tutorial. So in today's video I'm going to be modeling an Among Us astronaut from the video game. It's going to be a very simple 3D model. We're just extruding from a cube basically. So anyways, let's get started. So I'm just going to press X. Actually, let's keep the default cube. Let's go over here, add modifier, and you want to click on subdivision surface. Set this to 2 and click over here, apply the modifier. Alright, now the modifier is applied, so we can add another subsurface. Alright, we can shade smooth, turn it up a little bit. Alright, now I just want to, so I want to turn that X-ray on. Let's go to face select, so it's easier. And then we can just bring this down. So G, Z, just move your mouse down. Alright, I think that's going to be good. The character is quite small. Did I scale it a little? It looks like it's a bit weird. Hold up. It's weird. Well, let's see, extrude, then grab it like that. There, that works a lot better. Alright, so we extruded it out, and now we got this sort of capsule, which is how like the character's shaped. And let's just even out this topology by adding a few loop cuts, so it's all nice grid square-like. That's how you want your topology to be like on your mesh. Alright, let's turn off X-rays so that we can select these vertices at the bottom. And I'm going to turn on proportional editing, which is this thing over here. Let's go back into orthographic view, G, Z, and bring it up a little bit so that we flatten out that piece. Alright, that looks nice. And now we can just take these parts and extrude them out. Oh, sorry, proportional editing's on. Let's just grab them, just go down. They have quite stubby legs, the characters, so that should be good. You can always change this. And now let's add a loop cut here and flatten this out, and add a loop cut here and flatten this out. So now we have nice legs for our character. So the transition here isn't as smooth as I would want it to be. So let's hide this subsurface. Let's do Shift Alt. Hold up. Let's go into vertice select. Let's do that. Select this side. And now that we have this entire area selected out, let's also select this side. And this, nope. Control Z is undo, by the way, for beginners. And then do Control B, which is the shortcut for bevel. Now let's just extend it out, add a few cuts, and let's turn back on our subsurface. Does not look as good as I would want it to look. Maybe it's just because our bevel's a bit too big. Let's go back a few steps. When we're over here, let's do this, Control B, and let's do that. Let's see how that looks. Add our subsurface. That makes it a bit thinner around there. Here. Sorry about this. It's a completely unscripted tutorial. So, yeah, I haven't done a tutorial in quite a bit either. Let's grab this side. Let's grab this side. Oh, nope. Let's grab this side. This side. Then we can just sort of scale them in on the y-axis, so that you give the legs some thickness. Otherwise, they look a bit too weird and stubby. That's better. And I think we can scale them on the bottom as well. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm holding control. Alright, let's go back to this view. And you can just scale them up a little bit. Nah, didn't want to scale them on that axis. Let's straighten them out. Oh, sorry. there. You just do SZ0, and that sort of just straightens them out. Okay, that makes them easier to scale. So let's just just do that a little bit. I think that's looking fine. It's looking a bit weird. You can always tweak it later. So that's like our base mesh. Let's go click N. Let's go to tool or item, and let's just move the location. So set origin, center of mass, volume. Now I can just set this to, let's do, I think it'll be like 2 meters. Let's just put it where it should be. And you can hold shift. Alright, so now it's in the middle of our scene. It's on the ground. What we want. So now let's add another cube, just like this. So do the same, add subsurface, go to 2, and apply. So this is going to be our visor object. So let's go into the side view again. In shade smooth, we can add another subsurface modifier. You can just put it at 1, it's going to be a smaller object. So now let's just scale this down. It's going to be about that. Yeah, it's going to stay at about that width. On this axis, you can put it way down. Doesn't really matter. And now we just drag it into position. And it's already starting to look like a character from the game. So now it's just, it's gonna be a bit weird. Let's just select those 3, and same on here. Let's select those 3 edges, enable proportional editing, and that's just gonna like push the whole thing back. It's gonna make it like go around. That looks pretty nice, and we can just make minor adjustments on either side. And turn off proportional editing. Just move it around wherever you see fit. That's pretty good. Still thinking the legs are way too stubby, so let's go ahead and work on those. You could do this with a mirror modifier. If you start in the beginning, that would make things a lot easier. Sorry if you made it all the way through. But anyways, let's select all of these. Let's select the entire leg for both. Oh. And just scale it up. There we go. Alright. So that's basically most of the base character. Now what I want to do is just add in a cube, and then we just scale it like that. Let's go to this view. Let's scale it on the y-axis. This is going to be its backpack, sort of oxygen tank thing that all the crewmates and imposters have. So we can just like set this back here. We can scale it a bit more. It's a bit too big, so I'm going to do that. That seems about right. Let's add a bevel modifier. And change the segments to 2. That should still be good enough. No, let's do 3 seems about good, just because of the normals. Alright, that seems nice. So we basically got the base character. This is what I showed in the video. So I just want to add arms to it. So let's just take this. Let's scale this in. Let's add a modifier. Let's add mirror. Alright, so it's going to mirror on the x-axis. We want it to mirror on the y-axis. Let's go into edit mode. Let's bring this all the way out here. And this is where the arms will be. So I'm just going to block out the arms. So just make a shape like this. Then we can just add in a couple of loop cuts for the 3 fingers. Now let's extrude this out. It's going to be very simple. Scale it in. And then this will be the longest finger, so we can extrude that up a bit more. Scale it in. And then we'll make this shorter one and scale it in. We'll add subsurface, so it's going to start to look better after that. Let's add another loop cut there. Another loop cut there. I'm going to go back to face select. Oh. Just going to bring this up. I'm going to go to edge select. Move this back here. Now I'm just going to add some detail. Alright, just in the middle, just scale it in a little bit. Just add some more geometry and detail. That looks better. And let's do the same for this, the thumb. There we go. Now let's see what happens when we apply subsurface. Alright, that's okay. We gotta add some more depth. Right. So, take this in and bring it in a little bit. Now we've got some more depth to the arm. Shade smooth. It doesn't look good because we don't have enough subdivisions. Let's see. What if I turn on auto smooth? Nope, that does not work out well. Alright, so you can have the fingers like this, or you can make them a bit more flat like that. I'm gonna try to make them like this. Let's see. So more like a cartoon character, right? So I'm gonna just round them out like that. I'll skip it. There. Now I can just rotate them on the y-axis. And then in edit mode, I can bring this in closer to the crewmate's body. And there we go. Let's also move this a bit in front. It's going to be like a resting position if you want to add any character rigs. You're going to have to make both of the arms separate if you wanted to rig this. Alright. So now let's just start getting the render set up. Let's do this. Just make a simple studio lighting scene. Alright. Let's tab into edit mode. Let's select these three. I'm using control. And we can bring all of these up. And now let's just select these three. And we want to bevel it for that nice smooth reflection. Add in a few segments. Scale it up a little bit. Boom. Looks a bit blocky. We can shade smooth. And auto smooth makes it look a bit weird. Let's try to recalculate all those normals. Shift N, recalculate normals. Let's do them both. Looks pretty good. Alright. So now let's just position our camera. Let's go over here. Control-Alt-0. Our camera's now here. Let's press N. Go to the N tab. View and lock camera to view. So now we can just sort of place it. Position like this. That's pretty good. And I think these hands should come in a little bit more. Alright, and for a resting position, I'll actually rotate these down like this. Put them down like that. There. That's the resting position, and alright, let's get to texturing. I'm going to switch to rendered view, but if your computer can handle it, then you can just stay in solid. But I'm going to switch to rendered. And let's change this light to an area. It's really bright. We're going to be going for a studio lighting setup. Let's change it to 250. Don't forget to check ambient occlusion, bloom, screen space reflections. We don't need motion blur. If you're going to animate, it's nice to have motion blur though. Just saying. Now let's change the size X to 2 and the size Y to 1. It's a bit short. Let's actually do 4 and 1. Or yeah, let's have them like that. And just rotate it. Let's go to tool, or item, rotation. That's fine. Just the Z. Let's change that to 90. And then we can do, actually, we can do 180. Oh, what happened? Oh, alright. Let's just bring this here. That's the first side. And then we do Shift D to duplicate. Bring it over here. RZ 180. And you bring it over here. Now let's just duplicate again. Bring it up here. For the rotation, I'm gonna put this at 0 straight up. You can do that. And then what else I'd like to do is to sort of fake that global illumination. We take another light right here. We bring it all the way down here. This sort of fakes the global illumination. We still get to keep our reflections. So let's just rotate it to where it's facing our object. It's going like, let's put it behind our cameras. And let's lower it to like 50. You want it to be quite subtle. That's quite good. I did 145. That might be too much, depending on the scene. Let's add our first material for this. I'm going to make it dark. And let's turn the roughness a bit down. You don't want to make it too rough. And now let's focus on the character. So you can pick any color. It doesn't really matter. Just going to add new material. That glass 2.3 thing is just because of a Blender add-on I have. It's a material. It's a very good glass shader for EEVEE, but we're not going to be using a glass shader in this scene because we want a more cartoonish effect. So let's make it, let's do red. Everybody's going to think I'm the imposter, but... So I just turned the roughness down a little bit, so it looks quite nice like that. You can choose what material you want. It's really anyone's choice. Choose whatever. I'm gonna... That's like a plastic sort of material. I think it should be fine. Let's add it to everything else. Let's see how it looks. You can always change it. And for this, let's turn roughness all the way down, and let's just pick a light blue. Sorry, subsurface color. That's why it wasn't appearing. Just pick a light blue like that for the visor. Right, it's starting to look nice. I'm just gonna render it in EEVEE so it doesn't take too long, and it's nice and quick. You can choose whatever render engine you want to render in. So that's looking nice. We got all the studio lighting set up. We can go ahead. Let's see how it looks. It's too shiny. Let's turn up the roughness. If we wanted to give it a plastic texture, I'm gonna do some experimenting in the shading tab. Just go to our rendered view just so you can see how it looks like. And we can just add a texture and add in like a noise texture. If you want to make it look like a plastic minifigure, something like that. You can add a noise texture like this. And you can add a bump node. And just there, and then put the normal into the normal. Just doing some stuff. Hold up. Let's see, I can't really see this well. Let's go to look dev. Can't really see anything. Oh, it's supposed to be into distance. Hold up, I'm forgetting. Height, that's what it is. So it's looking very weird because of our scale. So if we turn that up very, very high, this is not high enough. Let's do like something very high like that. That's still not high enough. It looks more like a concrete at how it is right now, so we can just tone down that strength a little bit. And now we got like a nice plasticky material. I like this. And this is supposed to be a shiny plastic, so we can like turn up the roughness a little bit. So I think that looks pretty nice. I like how it diffuses the reflections. And yeah, so now we can just go back to our layout, go to our camera, and now we can just render it. So I'll put on the render on screen right now. And anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!